Okay, sixth grade, we are on day 5 of our review. Today we're talking about dividing decimals. So I've got 3 examples up on the board here for you. You've got them in your notes to follow along with. So our first example is 12.06 divided by 0.3. So we're dividing by a number that has a decimal, and we can't do that. To divide, we have to make the number that we're dividing by a whole number. So this 0.3, we need it to be a whole number. We can't have a decimal in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to move our decimal point. So if I were to move it 1 to the right instead of 0.3, that's now 3, which is what I want. I'm dividing by a whole number, by 3. But if I move the decimal 1 to the right in this number, I also have to move it 1 to the right in the first number as well. So instead of 12.06, this is now 120.6 divided by 3. From there, it's just basic long division. So 120.6 divided by 3. I'm just going to do normal division like I normally would. 3 doesn't go into 1. 3 goes into 12. 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract, I get 0. Bring down my next number. It's also a 0. 3 goes into 0 0 times. 0 times 3 is 0. Subtract, I get 0. Bring down my 6. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract, I get 0. I'm done. But don't forget to bring your decimal point up. My answer is 40.2. Your decimal point will just go directly up above where it was in the problem. So I end up with 40.2 as my answer. Okay, let's talk about the second problem here. 0.78 divided by 1.2. So, same idea. I can't divide by 1.2. I need it to be a whole number without a decimal. So I'm going to have to move my decimal 1 to the right. That's now 12. Here I move it 1 to the right, and that's 7.8. So I'm going to do 7.8 divided by 12. So remember, the first number goes under the fraction bar, or division bar, sorry, and then the second one outside. So now I'm doing 12 into 7.8. 12 doesn't go into 7, so I'm going to bring up my decimal. You could put a 0 there. 12 goes in 0 times or not. It really doesn't matter. 12 goes into 78 6 times. 6 times 12 is 72. Subtract, I get 6. Now we have a remainder. We don't put 6.R.5, not allowed. So when you get a remainder, basically you just add a 0 to the end of the decimal and bring it down. Sometimes you might have to do that a bunch of times. Sometimes you might not. 12 goes into 60 5 times. So now we're good. 5 times 12 is 60. Now I got 0. I'm done. My answer is 0.65. Okay, so let's look at our third problem here. 7 divided by 0.08. So this problem, I got to move my decimal 2 places to make that a whole number. 0.08, if I move it 2 places, it becomes 8. It's a whole number. Now I can divide. But here, I got to do the same thing. I got to move my decimal 2 places. We know after a 7, there isn't a decimal. We know the decimal would be right after the 7. We can't see it, but that's where we know it would be. So when I move it 2 places, I end up having to fill in 2 zeros. This ends up being 700 divided by 8 now, which looks like just a normal division problem. You know, maybe we'll just get a whole number answer. Well, I doubt it. So we're going to do 700 divided by 8. 8 does not go into 7. So I'm going to do 8 into 70. 8 goes into 70 8 times. 8 times 8 is 64. Subtract, I get 6. So now I bring down my 0. 8 goes into 60. Not 5 times. Where's my eraser? 8 goes into 67 times. 7 times 8 is 56. Subtract, I get 4. So I end up with a remainder. So that's where we add the 0 and bring it down. In this case, though, since there's no decimal, I have to add a decimal and a 0 and bring it down. I can also bring my decimal point up. 8 goes into 40 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. Subtract, I am done. I got 87.5 as my answer for that final question. All right, so that is dividing decimals. The most important thing you need to remember when you set up your long division problem, you need to be dividing by a whole number. You have to move the decimal in that number you're dividing by to make it a whole number. And then however many places you moved it, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or however many, you got to move it that many places in the first number as well. All right, I got 2 more examples coming to you in the next video.